The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
You know, we have Tom from Tampa on the phone. Hey, Tom. Good morning. It's bright and early now, huh?
Hey, Paige. Good. How you guys doing, Nico?
Doing great.
Good. Hey, your newsletter's outstanding, man. I'm telling you, man, it is outstanding. And so is the Primal Edge. I love that stuff. I'd never be without it. I mean, I've been on it now 3-4 months, man. I mean, it's just, I can't get over how good I feel.
Primal Edge is, people are raving about it. People who are trying it, they know because you can feel it.
Would not be without it.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Good morning. I'm Nico Haan. Welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more balanced, natural, wild world.
And this is so we can recover our natural health and regain our rights and our freedoms.
You bet you believe it. It's a beautiful day in downtown Clearwater, 76 degrees, and going to be raining most of the day, which will keep it nice and cool, and we like that.
That's right. So make sure you subscribe to our Health Signals newsletter. It's news you can use. Comes out twice a month. $10 a month, right?
Yeah, and it's a great issue this month. It's a good time to get on
stuff.
board because I got my Bigfoot adventure with Mark Bell is on there with the whole story is there. One
Part of
day,
the great
one day
pictures.
two. Lots of pictures and lots of videos in there. We have day 1, day 2 videos, plus a couple of little clips that I put in there to emphasize some of the things that I was interested about.
That's
And
awesome.
you can always reach us, folks, at 877-927-6648, and, of course, by email at nico@tfnn.com.
And Paige at tfnn.com.
So, how's
Great
your
stuff.
weekend?
Oh, it was good. It was all these weekends are good, I'm finding. And I really
Okay.
like our subject today, Nico. And when I saw
I
that
do.
you filled our little planner with this subject, I think it's really something that a lot of people aren't aware of.
Yeah, through the years, I've had times in my life when I've been really good at sleeping, and other times when I keep waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning and have a hard time getting back to sleep. Lately, it's been more restful. I think I'm getting a hang of it. I think
Well, we're always looking for all these other things. Is it my liver? Am I stressed? Did I eat too much? What did I eat?
Yeah, and what were we thinking about, and how can we shut the mind down, because it just keeps on
Right.
going. So this is a method that is really an old method and recommended by dentists and recommended by health practitioners.
But it's a really great way to balance the body's pH, the acid-alkaline balance, by making sure you have the right oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange.
Yeah, a good night's sleep is vital for good health, energy, and overall well-being. During the night, your body heals, repairs, and regenerates, which is why the way you breathe while you are sleeping is of great importance. And I really didn't know that a lot of people slept with their mouth open, but as I'm looking at the population now, it's not only during sleep that they keep their mouth open and breathing through with the snoring and all that.
They do it during the day.
They do it during the day, and even the children, which seems really contrary to how the natural order is. Most babies will sleep real soundly and breathe through their nose. Only when they're crying are they breathing another way.
And a lot of this goes back to proper nutrition through gestation and through birth and young childhood, so that you get the proper bone structure, so that you get the proper dentition. And this is why dentists, I always say dentists can be the people that help us the most with our health and traditionally, with some of these interventions. But it really is true that sleeping with an open mouth upsets the oxygen and carbon dioxide balance in your system, and this causes you to hypoventilate, believe it or not, and this results in oxygen deficiency and results in a restless sleep.
Yeah, since you can't easily monitor how you breathe while you sleep, using sleep tape ensures that your mouth stays closed at night, and so you can breathe through your nose. You can get this on Amazon. It's a sleep tape.
It's
That's
called
a
sleep
trademark.
tape, folks.
Yeah. And there's other different brands too, microfiche type of things. I'm not sure exactly what they are.
You know, some of us women have been using tape for a long time to tape wrinkle spots.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we put some tape right there, so we don't. So because when you sleep and you're squinching your face, and it's not uncommon to see that could be a little secret weapon. So now you can use that tape for more than just that. So if you do take the time to tape your mouth, people find that they wake more alert in the morning. So let's discuss some of the benefits of it.
Yeah, the feedback frequently given is that people wake up more alert in the morning, sleep more calmly, don't wake up during the night, and need less sleep.
See, there you go. So you avoid hypoventilation. If you sleep with an open mouth, you're going to be your breathing will automatically exceed your body's need, and you will hypoventilate, which upsets the oxygen carbon dioxide balance and causes an oxygen deficiency.
Yeah.
You know?
Keeping your mouth shut, applying tape to your mouth at night is an easy and inexpensive way to ensure that your mouth stays closed and respiration occurs only through the nose, and this will make you breathing work instead of working against you.
Yeah, it makes it work for you.
Yeah, another thing too is when you breathe through your nose, you're automatically using your diaphragm because you have to, because the volume isn't there unless you use the
That's
diaphragm.
a really great point to...
Yeah, so shallow breathing is through your mouth, and there are benefits to shallow breathing. We've talked about Wim Hof.
Breathing through your mouth. You can feel that you tend to expand only the upper part of your cavity.
Right, instead of going deep into the thoracic girdle.
And we had a question about waking up with a sticky film in the mouth and all around the lips. Well, I'm going to tell you that that's probably related to improper breathing, but most people that wake up with a lot of film in their mouth tend to be heavy grain eaters or sugar eaters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's more. For example, we know that most people that follow a lower starchy grain type of processed food don't tend to have tartar on their teeth. So you know how we have all these...
It's the glycation that does that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's calcification and glycation. You're
Right.
exactly right.
Yeah.
So, and then finally...
Well, there's two more things.
Yeah. You're going to have. You're going to wake up more rested. Right. And you're going to. This is going to give you a much deeper sleep. And
also, nasal breathing is the first step towards good breathing habits. So, nasal breathing during sleep increases the chance that your body can relax and get the rest it needs. While you're breathing through your mouth, you're actually working a lot harder.
Yeah, that's exactly true. So when we perceive danger, we automatically open our mouth, right? You're sort of perpetuating that gasp, that fight or flight, sympathetic dominance, and that's the last thing you want when you're sleeping. You're sleeping, you want to get into parasympathetic mode. I think this should be like an every night item. Good night, honey.
That'll teach her for talking to me. Just tape your wife's mouth shut.
Yeah, tape it.
I think this is a good method. I'm going to actually go on a little experiment and try this.
Well, I think I'll do it too. Let's do it together.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have some mouth breathers in my family.
Okay.
So I'd like to see that get corrected, and I've been reading about this for a long time, and I'm not so sure that I'm not either myself. I mean, I've really worked on this because, as I mentioned to you before we went on, and we're going to go over some quick facts, right?
Well, one thing I do want to mention, too, that, the way our society is with all the pressures real early on in life with the schools and the testing and then the peer pressure of the clothes and the car and, all growing up, you feel this peer pressure. And I think that this has a lot to do with mouth breathing because when you're stressed, you automatically switch over.
I think you're exactly right. And again, I think that a lot of people are mouth breathing because of poor body structure. And we're going to get our biological dentists on as guests. They're right here in downtown. I want to get them on. And we'll follow up with this. I'll give them a call. So we're going to take a short break.
Pick up the Health Signals newsletter. Got the brand new issue out right now, folks. It's a great time to pick it up. You can hear all about my adventure. Also, of course, pick up a bottle of our Primal Edge, our one-shot wonder, 310 organic cell-ready liquid ingredients powered by humic and fulvic acid.
That's right.
We'll be right back.
Be right back.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Talking about how to breathe well, and one of the best ways to breathe well is to breathe through your nose, and especially when you're sleeping. And here are some tools that can help you make sure that you're breathing through your nose.
Yeah, you might think that it's barbaric or maybe uncomfortable. I'm sure the first time you put tape on, it probably feels a little bit strange.
Maybe a little sadomasochistic or something.
A common reaction amongst people when they first hear of the idea. The discomfort is generally just a mental block, and after trying it a few minutes, most people find they get used to it.
It might even be a little bit of comforting. It's kind of like a relaxation, because honestly, folks, when we are breathing through our mouth, we are not breathing right.
Yeah, and if you feel discomfort, please apply the tape 15 minutes before bedtime in order to become more comfortable with the sensation.
Yeah, we had a question that came in about mouth breathing causing the sinuses to close up. That's, well, it's kind of the chicken or the egg. Are you breathing through your mouth because your sinuses are closed up, or your sinuses closed up because you're not using your nasal cavities?
Yeah, usually if you lay down on your side and it's stuffed up, it'll switch over, and you'll switch over to the... it might be real difficult in the beginning.
The other thing is those little sinus tape strips.
They open up. Yeah.
They open up. So in the beginning, I think that's a good thing to try.
Yeah,
that might be what I coach
taking your nose
people.
And your mouth, but not both of them closed.
So here's some tips of how to use it, because you might be wondering. And as Nico said, I guess you can go to Amazon, a lot of different people, and get some mouth tape.
Yep.
Do they actually call it mouth tape?
Sleep tape.
Sleep tape. Okay, they call it sleep tape.
Yeah. If you Google it,
and they have latex-free, hyperallergenic, etc. And so you want to tape vertically or horizontally. The sleep tape could be applied either horizontally or vertically. Some users prefer the vertical approach to be less intimidating.
Yeah, maybe.
So just try it and see which way works for you.
The thing to do is, of course, be persistent. If you may wake up with a taped mouth, since without a taped mouth, since it's common to remove the tape during the sleep, maybe during the first, second,
yeah,
or
you
third
might
night.
like kind of like when you throw a retainer out of your mouth and stuff.
Or you wake up and
right.
Yeah. The other thing is...
But be persistent, really. That's the whole thing. Just stick with it. You will get used to it. It just takes a little while to make a habit.
Yeah. Apply a while before bedtime, which I said before, about 15 minutes. If you feel discomfort, I suggest you apply about 15 minutes before, and that gets you more comfortable with
And
the
while you're at it,
sensation.
put a little bit right between your eyes to stop the leavings. Forget about the Botox. Just tape between there.
Yeah. And the last one is get your partner to tape up too. You may think it's not very sexy to tape your mouth. Yeah, well, probably not.
Give a little
Is that a hint?
A little tapey kiss,
Is that
right?
a hint, baby?
Yeah, some prefer to wait to apply the tape to the mouth until their partner has fallen asleep. Perhaps you can get your partner to tape. You know, the truth is probably this might eradicate a lot of snoring too.
Well, it does. No doubt about it. And the family that tapes together stays together.
Maybe so.
Okay. So here's a few frequently answered questions on the sleep tape usage.
Yeah, you know.
Especially if you have sensitive skin or your lips might get sore.
Well, here's some ideas if you have sensitive skin. You put the tape against your pillow a few times to reduce the adhesive slightly. You know, just kind of.
Okay, yeah. Like
you know, kind of reduce the stickiness.
Tear the tape in half and tape from your nose to your chin. Mm-hmm. That's the vertical way, I guess.
So that less tape gets in touch with your skin. Okay, I'm not visualizing that, but
I'm not either.
But you can slightly fold in your lips before applying the tape, like this. Roll in your lips.
Okay. You can also
put some coconut oil, not petroleum. Put some coconut oil before applying the tape. That would concern me that it might not stay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking
stuck,
too. That doesn't make any sense. Moisten your lips slightly before applying the tape. Maybe that's the same kind of thing.
And the other thing is, will create a nice little exfoliation around the lips and keep the lip wrinkling.
I know what they mean. When you lick your lips with a little saliva, or if you put a little bit of moisture on there, you're actually getting that adhesive above and below, but not on the lips themselves. I think that's the thing they're pointing out here.
It says also in the morning when you're taking it off, use your tongue to first kind of moisten your lips and then push out the tape.
Instead of ripping at it.
Instead of ripping it off, kind of start pushing it out. So these are some great tips.
So
and you can stick this in the newsletter next time.
Yeah, no
so
doubt.
that people who maybe decide to give it a try and see if you don't wake up feeling more oxygenated, you know?
So the sleep tape is made of non-woven rayon. Rayon is made of natural cellulose fiber, which is processed to become rayon. The adhesive is made of acrylate.
It's a material that is hypoallergenic and mild, and it's been used for medical purposes for years.
Since the 1960s.
Yeah. And it's usually fine for even most 6-year-olds to tape their mouth shut. So this is something I want to bring up. When Nico and I decided to do this subject, I had been researching, because I have some mouth breathers and people in my family. They're really trying to address this early on. And there's a new group. It's not orthodontia, but it's called orthotropics, orthotropic people. The doctors Mew, M-E-W, John, I think there are 2 Johns, John Sr. and Jr., but they're a family of they're in Europe. Okay. But they do a lot of teaching people to work on this proper breathing. This is a big part of their treatment, the proper breathing. They're keeping the tongue on the roof of the mouth. See, if the tongue drops into the bottom of the mouth, what's going to happen?
Yeah, you get your mouth open again.
So you're locking it in, and you're breathing through the nose. And they also advocate chewing gum to strengthen the jaw. See, again, we want to grow good faces with our children. Many children's orthodontia, if you work with sort of the orthotropic approach. And again, our local dentists, biological dentists we want to have in, they know a lot about this. They're working with this early on.
Good.
So
I'm not sure I like the idea of gum. I've never been a gum chewer, though. So
it's interesting. You know, a lot of the gums but there's a lot of old traditional gums. But the Mews are saying that our ancestors chewed a lot, and that's one of the reasons they had the big.
Yeah, I remember when I was
structure.
north in Canada. When I was young, we used to take the sap off the pine trees.
That's exactly what they used to chew.
Yeah,
and so it produced that beautiful face, that strong face. Whereas now we've got a lot of people with weak faces, weak chins, weak jaws.
I see. Yeah.
And so we're not using them because we eat a lot of, that's what the Mews call it, too much soft food. So getting back to this, and when it says it's safe for up to 6-year-olds, you have to make sure the child is curious and willing to try. You know?
You can't force this on somebody. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. There are 5-year-olds that tape their mouths, even if it's individual. It can differ from child to child. It's not recommended for children under 5 to tape their mouths.
Yeah.
Please know that all mouth taping at night, regardless of age, is at your own risk.
Well, sure it is. Yeah, you got to try it out. And so, it's much, it's actually better that your child gets a good night's sleep, according to the authors. And some will wake up very energetic and some may wake up very tired in the beginning, you know.
And then it kind of switches over once you're used to it, I guess.
It takes a little while to normalize, and so if you wake up very early in the morning and feel rested, it's great, and hopefully it's going to continue. Many people testify that they taping their mouth at night makes it possible to reduce your need for sleep, so that's nice. I mean, we all love our sleep, and if we get that great restful sleep, then that's wonderful.
Yeah, and suggest maybe you try it for 30 days, something like that, because similar to a person who wants to stop smoking, it really doesn't happen right away. It might be a little bit difficult, so it takes a while for the benefits to become evident, kind of like when we're using oil in your mouth for the oil pulling.
Yeah.
The benefits aren't there immediately.
This is kind of like a hygiene thing.
It is a hygiene
it's just
thing,
it's a personal health and hygiene.
But it's also really important, remember, we're constantly under stress. This will help relieve stress, give you a better night's sleep. What could be better than that?
I think that's a great tip, any way to reduce stress, and that's what we're here to help you do. So stay tuned. When we get back, we'll continue talking about how you can get better sleep through sleep tape. Be right back.
Would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhoads, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And welcome back. And the subject today is sleeping, and specifically sleep-based. And I have this doctor who's a dentist, Mark Burheen, I believe it is, and he's a family and sleep dentist.
Sleep medicine
dentist.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought we'd get some of his perspective, especially some of his patients that talk to him.
Yeah, great. And also I have somebody here who's from a site called Core Walking. You mentioned you knew who this person was. Joyce on Core Walking. And she also shares some stuff about sleeping with her mouth taped shut.
So Ask the Dentist, and this is a good, nice site. It gives you lots of different things. AskTheDentist.com.
Maybe show that picture. Do you have that picture up?
Yeah,
or no?
I'll get it in between. So Eliza was one of my patients. She says, I feel like a different person. Before she learned to nose breathe. I noticed one day at her appointment that her mouth breathing, she was mouth breathing and sent her home with some of the tape. She tried mouth taping that night and immediately discovered it was impossible for her to do so. Now, years later, after learning how to nose breathe, she was transformed. She has better focus, memory, and concentration. Her anxiety is greatly reduced, and also
she hasn't had a cavity
since. Yeah.
So see, it changes your whole physiology. This is very important, folks, that we, and what I think what we just heard from that, Nico, is that she's an adult, right?
Yes.
But this was an adult client of his that was a mouth breather, very much like the gentleman in the back of the picture there.
This is what you see right there.
Yeah, and I mean, and many people today, you're seeing a lot of people. Yeah, that's a good point. See, the babies got their mouth closed, and we learn this. And I think a lot of kids start learning it at the point they start watching TV and they're sitting there.
Well,
you know?
I think that, and maybe watching their parents.
Well, yep, and the other thing is that as they start to grow, they're not getting the proper nutrition to grow the right dentition. And if the teeth aren't laying right, it's more likely, and facial distortions are going to cause the mouth not to close right.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually have like a bow lip. So see, it's a little bit of a struggle for me to think of closing my lips. See how they kind of go up like that? I have to be conscious of it. And sometimes it looks a little forced.
It's a beauty thing.
Well, I don't know. I think it's an example of perhaps I didn't get the right bone structure growth in my maxilla. I don't know exactly, but you know, this woman that I'm looking at says she first learned about mouth taping from a friend who was studying the Buteyko breathing method, and that's really powerful Russian breathing. I actually have something in my office that's like a breathing tool that you can use to lose weight and to make sure that you're getting this oxygenation. It's really cool. And this was developed in the 1950s by Ukrainian doctor Konstantin Buteyko as a treatment for asthma. Again, asthma being a little bit of a sympathetic dominant stress response. And it proposed the idea that many people are hypoventilating without even knowing it. As the author was writing a couple of days ago, hypoventilation can lead to low carbon dioxide levels in the blood. So
Ask the Dentist says start watching people around you, your family, your coworkers. You notice a lot of people mouth breathe by default. Mouth breathing elevates blood pressure and heart rate, worsens asthma, allergies, and deprives the heart, brain, and other organs of optimal oxidation.
Oxygenation.
Oxygenation.
Not oxidation.
Exactly.
Okay, so if you're breathing through your mouth, the oxygen's going down this way. Breathe through your nose, it goes up into your brain.
I like the visualization.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So you're kind of leaving this part out of the
Another
cycle.
thing is, too, very important, nasal breathing is important because of nitric oxide, and we've talked about this in past shows, which your body produces in the sinuses. When you nose breathe, you get the benefits of nitric oxides, which are very extraordinary. The body produces 25% of its nitric oxide from nose breathing alone. Breathe through your mouth and you'll be short on the nitric.
What percentage?
25%.
There you go.
That's a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you've got a lot of vessels in the head,
Yeah.
you know, and that it's produced in the endothelial
Yeah,
lining.
so nitric oxide enhances memory and learning, regulates blood pressure, reduces inflammation, increases sleep quality, increases endurance and strength, and improves immune function. Boy, you better want your nitric oxide.
Well, that's a whole topic. I
Yes,
mean,
it is.
everyone's working about, and really nitric oxide is produced in healthy endothelial function, which are the vessels.
Yeah. Now,
And,
one of the ways of producing nitric oxide, which is really cool too, is by holding your breath after you exhale, not when you inhale. So this is a real interesting practice, and I've been doing this for a while. And at first, it was almost like a panic thing. I mean, you let the air out. You don't have to let all of it out.
You hold your air on the exhale.
On the exhale, too. And, of course, I think Stephen was mentioning he was doing push-ups in that manner, too, where you exhale and then you do push-ups and got to like 84, which in his life he had never got above 50 as a kid.
Yeah,
so this is a method that William Huff, who was the
Huff.
Huff.
Wilhelm Huff.
Wilm Huff, actually.
Yeah, Wilhelm Huff.
And he developed this. I don't know if he developed this from scratch, but a lot of people have used this. So really important, and try it out. And you can see that once you exhale, if you can hold it for 20 seconds, the first time you may not be able to even hold it that long.
I mean, even before you start taping your mouth or during the day, you can practice breathing in for a count, hold it at the top, breathe out, and hold the full exhalation.
Yeah,
and it can become a more rhythmic breathing. It's a really good breathing technique.
And it gives you much more endurance and a lot of benefits.
So over here, Joyce over at Core Walking says that she tried the technique once before with limited results, and she didn't really understand why she stopped. Since this time, she's learned a lot more about it and put a conscious effort into breathing through her nose more regularly in her waking life. And that's something I want to state. You know, they say 28 days makes a habit. So if you can really make this part of, maybe set an alarm that reminds you, check your mouth. Is it hanging open? Are you breathing through your nose? I think that this could really make a huge change.
Yeah, we've done this at also jiu-jitsu. If you ever go to a good jiu-jitsu place, you'll find once in a while they'll tape everybody's mouth, and now you start fighting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a whole different bag in there.
Okay, so
but it teaches you to nose breathe, to slow it down, to get in control of your breath. In other words, your endurance, while you're doing something really.
Joyce said that the first time around she had some generalized issues with panic that kind of came up when she first put the tape on, but this time, now that she's educated herself on the benefits, it's not happening so much. I think that might help if you taped yourself and you went and did something, like maybe put some dishes away or something, or folded a load of laundry or something. Perhaps if you put it on and then you just lay there, you might freak yourself out.
Yeah, I think it takes a while, and both of these sites that we've been talking about say that they had, some of the people had trouble in the beginning, and I can see that. Just kind of stick with it.
Yeah, so here you go. People are often recommended to sleep with their mouth shut for sleep apnea, okay? Yeah. But in that case, there is a sort of a mask that they sell that goes around the chin and the crown of the head that keeps the jaw as well as the mouth shut. See, it's keeping you from dropping open, right?
Yeah, you're talking about that strap that they use.
Yeah, but see, what's it doing? It's keeping the jaw shut. So literally, when your mother was little, when you were little, and she said, shut your mouth, we should have paid attention. Shut your mouth. And really, it was important. That's kind of like what the doctors Muse say. And this same device is often suggested to help with snoring, sleep apnea and snoring, which we see a lot of. But the mouth taping just really works and helps with that issue as well.
Yeah, and if you wake up with a dry mouth promotes cavities because the teeth are not being bathed in saliva, which helps protect and is resistant against cavities.
Very good
Using
point.
This will...
And a sign that your mouth breathing, obviously, if your mouth is dried out.
So stick around, folks. We'll be right back with another subject. Reminder again, my Health Signals newsletter with a great story of my Bigfoot adventure. Recommend that you read that, so please pick that up. We'll be right back. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom OBrien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Hey, welcome back. What do you think about that tattoo ink? You know, what are the ingredients in tattoo ink?
Yeah, I don't know if many people know. I know there's a lot of people who do tattoos that mix their own stuff, and they probably know what the ingredients are.
I'll tell you what the answer is. You can't be 100% certain. Because these manufacturers of inks and pigments are not required to reveal their contents.
Yeah, I think this is an important subject today, and you know, I saw you pass one of the things to me, and I right away looked at, because this is interesting, because of course in the jiu-jitsu world, a lot of people use tattoos,
well,
MMA, in the whole world
20-year-olds, I mean, basically, it's like a rite of passage. I mean, kids
Something
can't
like
wait
that.
to get of an age so they can get themselves tattooed. When I was younger, it was like just getting your belly button pierced.
Yeah.
Now it's piercings and tattoos.
Yeah, and I always told myself that when I got my black belt in jiu-jitsu, I was going to go out and get a tattoo, but that faded.
Did it? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when there's some safer alternatives that are semi-permanent, you could enjoy them for a time, but then they come off. I think it's something to consider. But, you know, there are professionals who mix his or her own inks from dry pigments will most likely know the compositions of their inks. However, the information or proprietary trade secrets
There's also a carrying
exists,
agent.
so you may not get the right answers.
Yeah, so
you know?
these inks are suspended in a carrying solution, and contrary to popular belief, pigments usually are not vegetable dyes. Today's pigments primarily are metal salts. However,
Did you hear that, folks? Many people cite that, traditional cultures have been doing doing tattoos for ages, and it's sort of a rites of passage, but they weren't getting the industrialized versions of the inks.
Right. The pigment provides color of the tattoo. The purpose of the carrier is to disinfect the pigment suspension, keeping it evenly mixed and providing the ease of application.
But there's a story, folks. There is a story of toxicity and tattoos, and it's really important to understand that we wanted to focus in on the composition of these pigments and those carrier molecules Nico mentioned.
Right.
You know, there are health risks associated with tattooing, both from the inherent toxicity of the substances and, of course, the unhygienic practices that might be going on. Although I'm sure most people now are, dealing with more trained people. But
well, maybe not, because it's grown so much, then you get a whole influence of people. I know a lot of people who are tattoo artists who've been in it for years and years, but I envision now a lot of people who are just coming into the industry probably don't have the knowledge of the guys who who run the shop, or the guys who've been in business for 20 years.
you should really ask to see the material data sheet on the tattoo ink that the artist is going to use. That's a prudent, intelligent thing to do, because you are going to be putting it on your skin. And as we've always shared with you, what you put on your skin plan to eat it because that's exactly what your body's
Same
going
type
to
of
do.
thing.
Yeah.
Now, pigments and tattoos, inks are not regulated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Right.
Not that that means a lot because they think glyphosate is okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, however, the oldest pigments used in tattoos came from using ground up minerals and carbon blocks, carbon black. But today, the pigments include these original mineral pigments, but they have also added those modern industrial organic pigments, a few vegetable-based pigments, and
Iron oxide.
this is the one, some plastic-based pigments. So allergic reactions, scarring, phototoxic reactions, reactions from which are exposure to sunlight, and other adverse effects are possible with some of these pigments. But the plastic-based ones are very intensely colored, but many people have reported reactions to them.
Yeah, so
Why would you want to inject plastic into your body?
Well, I wouldn't, but I can see people get pulled into this, and a lot of people love their tattoos.
They say
and
that these
it's a rite
pigments,
of passage type
they
of
say
thing.
they're notoriously risky, but some may be safe, but others are radioactive or otherwise toxic. So there's some lists of composition of them that's in this article we could
Some
go
even
over.
have lead in them.
Yeah, that's my concern, lead, and a lot of these colors and iron oxides and so forth. This is kind of hard to go over on the radio, but suffice to say, folks, really take the time to ask what's in it and go to places like maybe the Environmental Working Group or look at up the material data sheet
Especially
to get
some
them.
of the darker colors. When you talk the blue pigments from minerals include copper, carbonate, sodium, aluminum, cycate, calcium.
I mean, they're just like
lots of stuff in there. Yeah,
you really got to look these things
Zinc
up.
oxide even. Titanium dioxide.
Because remember, what you put on your skin, you're actually, going to digest yourself.
Now the other thing too is that tattooing, where it goes is a problem because it has to go deep enough to be permanent. So that means it's going into the sweat glands.
Correct.
And reportedly that you're going to be sweating about half as much in the area where the ink is.
This could really impact your body's ability to regulate your body temperature, and we know that body temperature regulation is crucial to homeostasis, meaning having your whole organism be at ease. So,
a new study suggesting that the sweat glands become damaged by tattooing, making you sweat 50% less on tattooed areas. Our body sweating is the way of our body kind of thermal regulates.
Exactly what I said.
Yeah.
So theoretically, someone with extensive tattooing and they're living in the East Texas heat may be at risk for overheating or heat stroke because they're not going to have damaged sweat glands. So this body sleeving, the sleeving of the whole body could really be a serious health concern.
So some of the experts who have been tattooing for a lot of years, usually tattoos have negative space, which create these like skin rivers that allow you to
it creates a
switch.
skin river, so you've got some real skin in between.
Yeah, some people, you see those sleeves, like the whole arm is covered in different colors and everything like that, with no relief at all. And I think that's more of the danger of it. So.
Yeah, they've actually become more and more popular, as we know. The number of Americans with tattoos has increased up to 50%.
Wow.
And I know a lot of people just feel like they have to. I personally, I can look at a tattoo and I can respect the artwork, but I just as soon see it on a picture frame or a pillow or something. Well, because when I have ink on my body, it makes me feel, ooh. Because I'm left-handed, and my whole life, as I wrote with my ink pen, I would go home and I'd have a blue hand.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, but I'm left-handed. But I always felt like I had to wash my hands.
Yes, because you turn it a little bit and you're going across.
Yeah, well, you're always crossing your writing, whereas you're not.
Right,
when you're going left.
I still got it. I still remember that too. So it's because it's very popular these days. That's why we wanted to bring this up.
Yeah, we just want to encourage you to research what you're doing. There's some really great henna tattoos that I think might be a more natural base that are temporary. So, and keep in mind these metals and everything. Your body has to constantly work to chelate them. Make sure if you're going to tattoo yourself, you drink a lot of Primal Edge so you can chelate these minerals out using the fulvic and the humic acids. I want to introduce the subject of 10 nail symptoms and what they mean to your health when we come back. A lot of people are really curious of why traditional cultures look at fingernails, and I think if we can get this article
Well, that's
pulled
quite
up.
a long article. I've got something else we're going to do.
Okay.
I planned. I didn't tell you. I apologize. But
All right.
when we come back, we'll go into another thing that I never really knew. So we'll stick around for that. Yes, please pick up the Health Signals newsletter, folks. We have the brand new issue.
What else is in there
There's
other
a
than Bigfoot?
great article about Bigfoot, but of course we have other things, and one of the things is, of course,
Going back into our forest bathing. Well,
Yeah.
you know, I tell you what, forest bathing, and you know what? You got a forest bath while you were there.
I sure did. Also, a daily dose of cannabis may protect and heal the brain from the effects of aging.
Yes, we know.
And
No,
there's a
that's
lot
awesome.
of things in here, common painkillers linked to increased heart attack. So it's always jammed full of things that you need to know about.
News
so
you can
please
use,
pick it up.
folks.
$10 a month gets you 2 issues on the first and third
And you're on
Tuesday.
top of all the top health stuff. We'll
You
be
got it.
right back.
Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhoads, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom OBrien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom OBrien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you're listening to TFNN programming, you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones, iPads, and Android devices, located in the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and call-in talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors. Up next, 9 before 9 with John Logan on TFNN.
Welcome back to the show. You know, it wasn't until Europeans took over North America that natives adopted the ideas of gender roles. For Native Americans, there were no set rules that men and women had to abide by in order to be considered normal member of their tribe.
How about that, folks? How many things and traditions and cultural ways did the white man, the European settler, try and squash?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and before we get into this article, you know that we've discussed on the show before the fact that the Cherokee Nation was a matriarchal society.
Yes.
So this makes sense. You know, in fact, people who had been both male and female were viewed as gifted by nature and therefore able to see both sides of everything. And all Native communities acknowledged the following gender roles: female, male, two-spirit female, two-spirit male, and transgendered.
5 different terms.
5 different. This was Native Americans acknowledged 5 different genders.
This is a Lakota chief saying, Christian leaders stand on our soil and claim gay marriage has never occurred here. Over 130 tribes in every region of North America performed millions of same-sex marriages for hundreds of years. Their statements are both hateful and ignorant. Your homosexual was our two-spirit people, and they were considered sacred.
Wow.
And each tribe had their own specific term.
Yeah, but there was a need for a universal term that the general population could understand. The Navajo referred to the two spirits as Navi, one who is transformed. Among the Lakota, it was Winkiti. I apologize if I'm not pronouncing these. Indicative of a male who had a compulsion to behave as a female. Neats Menedwag, two-spirit in Ojibwe. Himene, half man, half woman, in Cheyenne, to name a few. As the purpose of two-spirit is to be used as a universal term in the English language, is not always translatable with the same meaning in native languages. For example, in the Iroquois Cherokee language, there is no way to translate the term, but the Cherokee do have gender variance terms for women who feel like men and vice versa.
Yeah.
So, I think this has been, this is a subject that, I'm going to say that is supported on the left and condemned on the right,
Maybe so.
And I hate that because I think that we have bigger fish to fry than to fight about,
There's a lot of stories about how glyphosate and the different drugs that are in their thing have transformed people, and I've often thought about this. Well, we have a lot of pollutions, and maybe this is what's doing it. But here you see a clear indication of this being
and it's been existing for years.
Of course, look at the Greeks and the.
They say that that's what Christ said, that when someone was talking about a eunuch, and he said, he was born that way. And I think this is a pretty interesting thing. So the two-spirit culture of Native Americans was one of the first things that the Europeans, along with the matriarchal society, that they wanted to eliminate. They wanted it to be a patriarchal environment. So it was one of the first things that the Europeans worked to destroy and cover up. And according to people like American artist George Catlin, the two-spirit tradition had to be eradicated before it could go into history books.
It must be extinguished before it can be fully recorded.
And this is a beautiful picture. It appears perhaps maybe...
Yeah. And then we have the women, too. 2 women.
Yeah. However, it wasn't only white Europeans that tried to hide any trace of native gender bending. According to Indian County Today, Spanish Catholic monks destroyed most of the Aztec codices to eradicate traditional native beliefs and history, including the belief that those told of the two-spirit tradition. And so throughout these efforts, Christians and Native Americans were forced to dress and act according to newly designated gender roles.
Yeah, the two-spirit people in pre-contact Native America were highly revered, and families that include them were considered lucky. Indians believed that a person who was able to see the world through the eyes of both genders at the same time was a gift from the Creator.
Wow.
Can't say it better.
Maybe a more united spirit. Truly interesting. We're taking a short break. We'll be right back.
We're taking a long break.
Oh, well, okay.
See you next time, folks.
That's right. That's right.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.